welcome back to That Dad Guy. It is April 1st, 2025, which means for some of you, it's April Fool's Day. This is not a prank, though. This is not an April Fool's joke. This is Stamp of the Month. What Stamp of the Month? Well, every month I do a topic on a single stamp, a series of stamps, a theme of stamps, and we do a big giveaway because I have an amazing stamp community that's behind me now that is help to donate items every month that we do as a giveaway. So every month, it seems like the giveaways are getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and all you have to do to win is put the word in the comment of this video that I give you, and then you'll be entered to win at the end of the month. So we just finished having a giveaway and a winner yesterday. It was a two-time winner, so if you play, you get a chance to win. If you keep playing, you might win more than once, or it might be your first time. Who knows? But you can't win if you don't play. So I encourage you to subscribe to the channel, like, leave positive comments, share with other people, put the notification bell on, and put the keyword that I will be giving you in this video in the comments of this video so you have a chance to win. Well, since the beginning, I have had some great collaborators. It all started with Liverpool Stamps in England. They reached out and said, you know what, we'd like to do a collaboration with you in some way. What can we do? How can we help? And so they stepped up to the plate. They've been sending in stamps and first day covers and commemorative things that I've been using for giveaways. And along with that, they've given us a code. So if you go to liverpoolstamps.co.uk, place your order, put in the code TDG20, that stands for That Dad Guy 20, you're going to get 20% off your order. You're going to get a free penny red, and every month they give you a few extra stamps that has to do with the theme of what we're talking about today. So I know I've had other people that have used it, have gotten the gift, appreciated what it was, and have gotten their order in a pretty timely fashion too. So don't miss out on it. Thank you, Liverpool Stamps, for being a part of it. Also, Stephen from Australia. I always call him Stephen for Australia. I know he has a last name, and some of you know it. He has been a subscriber for a little while now. He found my channel, and he has stepped up. He goes on to my live streams on Saturday. He stays up really late in order for him to be a part of them. He comments on my videos. He's been sending me packets of stamps, some in initial and trades, but some of them he's just been continuing to send that I do videos on. I might add it to my own collection, or I do it as a part of giveaways. Well, he's on the list of people who know what's coming up in the months ahead, and so he's been collecting stamps and putting them in envelopes and sending them for the giveaways. So I received stamp packets like this from Stephen in Australia, and envelopes like this from Liverpool Stamps. And recently, from Idamarie in Washington, D.C., I got a letter from her as well. She wanted to be on the list of people in the know, so she could help with the giveaways. She goes to local stamp shows. So I appreciate the growing community of people that are wanting to give out into the world and not just collect from the world. Both of them are handy. Last month, we probably had the most entrants we ever had in a giveaway, and it keeps growing every year, and so do the prizes that are a part of it. And I keep having other people that say, what can I do? What can I give? How can I make it better? So thank you so much to everybody who's been a part of the That Dad Guy crew and making this channel grow even more every month. Well, let's get to it. Right after you subscribe, you like, you leave positive comments, you share with other people, you put the notification bell on so you don't miss out on anything. And if I'm talking fast, it's because I'm once again excited about this month's giveaway and this month's topic. Stephen from Australia, he sent me this, a prepaid postage card. It's blank, so I could mail it here and I have to put postage on it because I'm not in Australia, or I can send it to someone who's in Australia who could reuse it. But here we've got a horse-drawn tram. To me, it's almost like three modes of transportation. You have a horse, you have the train tracks, you have the trolley car. If it was motorized, it could go by itself. So why am I showing you that postcard? Because today, the topic is transportation. And specifically, I want to talk about some stamps that came out in the United States. And they came out for about 15 years. They're called the Transportation Coils. They're definitive stamps. Well, I'm going to stop right there because some of you are new to stamp collecting, to Philately. And some of these words don't make sense. So what are definitive stamps? Well, they're regular country issue stamps that you can get for an extended period of time for everyday use. and they're unlike provisional or commemorative stamps. So these are definitive stamps from Canada. They're on a coil. That would be the next word. What's a coil? Well, they're sold in strips. So you could get a strip of 10 stamps, or you could get a roll of stamps, and they're just easier to mechanize for sale. So you could go into post office meter sometimes and order 10 stamps, and they would come out and you could buy them that way. You can go into Costco, like I do, and buy them by the roll. They're easier. These are commemorative stamps. Stamps that just come out. They are issued for a certain person for a period of time, and then they go away. People collect those sort of things, but people collect these, and I'm going to tell you why people collect them. Because of stamps like these, and I'll show you those ones a little bit closer in a little bit. Those are the Transportation Coils, or the Transportation Series, the Transportation issue that came out between 1981 and 1995 in the United States. They are vehicles that the U.S. has used since its independence. So a wide variety of vehicles are on these stamps. What you're going to find on the stamp is it's going to be mostly single color use. So it's going to be on white paper. The vehicle might be green. It will say the name of the vehicle, and it would say the decade or maybe even the singular year that this vehicle was used. And then there might be one other thing. I'll talk about that might be on the stamp too. Well, maybe two other things. There's all sorts of things. Almost all of them were engraved, which is great. Lots of people like the engraving of stamps and collect those by themselves. You can also find some of the stamps have an additional inscription on them. So this is what you might also find on it. It might say bulk rate or zip, +4, pre-sort, non-profit. And in the decimal rate stamps, you're going to have like 10.1 cents or 13.2 cents. To buy that stamp by itself, you'd say, why would you do that? That's for bulk rate. So when you're shipping parcels and things and there's a difference in the dollar figure, those are what those are specifically used for. Some of these stamps too are going to have bulk rate as a overprint over top of the stamp, not actually printed right on the stamp. Different options you can collect there. The ones that people really like to collect though are the plate numbers. So if you've collected wildlings or penny reds and you're looking for plate numbers along the way, that's what people collect. And what's a plate number? So every 24, 48, or 52 stamps, there's a little number at the bottom. It says 1, 2, 3, whatever the plate number happens to be. Depends on the printer, whether you'll find it every 24 stamps, every 48, or every 52. The specific numbers can be really hard to find sometimes. So maybe you're collecting all the plate numbers for these stamps that are number 3. Maybe it's really hard to find a number 3. That makes it a lot more valuable. So that's why some people collect stamps. It's because they're valuable sometimes. Most of the times they're pretty common and don't cost a lot. So that's why I suggest that when you're collecting stamps, it doesn't have to be an expensive hobby. If you're new to collecting, you can buy bulk rate of stamps and get lots for your money. Will they be valuable? Probably not, because they make millions and millions of every one of the stamps, especially definitive stamps, because they use them for a long period of time. These particular stamps, there's a large variety of them. So it started with the 1 cent omnibus, and it goes all the way to the $1 seaplane, and there are lots of duplicates in there, not duplicate cars or vehicles, but dollar values. So the 3 cent had a handy car. It also had the Conestoga, whatever a Conestoga is. Well, you can look that up and see what it is. It was the force transportation stamp that they put out. But then there's going to be ones like 4 cents and 4.9 cents and 5 cents. Maybe 3 or 4 or 5 5-cent stamps have come out, but they all have a different image on them. So you want to make sure you collect them all. And that's why we're going to get into what we're going to talk about here in a minute. Well, first of all, got a Scott catalog. You probably should have access to a Scott catalog or a Stanley Gibbons or whatever's in your country. Scott catalogs, A, is where you're going to find the United States. Not under U, but under A, because they brought out this particular catalog. And in here, you're going to look for the Transportation Series. There's where they start in 1981, and there's examples of what they look like. that we'll throw aside, because that's where you're going to find your stamps to collect. Now, in my collection, I've had the fortunate to collect most of them. Now, I haven't gotten into plate numbers or just collecting the bulk rate ones or the first class ones or what have you. I just collected one of each. Now maybe I will go back and look for certain plate numbers now that I know they exist, and it's something that maybe I'd like to have in my collection. Who knows? But what you might like to have in your collection is what we have in the giveaway. So I'm going to start by showing you some of the bigger items right now that are in the giveaway, and then I'm going to start showing you some of the smaller items, and then we're going to talk about what word do you have to put in order to be a part of the giveaway and have a chance to win. So things like first day covers that have come in from the Soviet Union. You might collect boats, and you want some of this stuff because there's boats. You might collect airplanes, their transportation, maybe certain ships, maybe they're military ships or they're cargo ships. Maybe you collect zeppelins or balloons or horses or carriages. They all fall under transportation, and that's why I went with this particular theme. And when I looked at the transportation coils, they cover all of those things on the stamps. So someone who says, well, I only collect trains, you're going to have trains in this collection, part of the giveaway. I only collect bicycles, though. There's bicycles, too. So we are not forgetting anybody this time in this giveaway. You're going to have a chance to be either increasing a current collection you have, and you might say, you know what? I don't collect first day covers at all. None of this would be any good to me. What else do you have? Well, I have a lot. So those of you that collect first day covers or souvenir sheets like that, maybe that's what you want. Maybe you want the individual stamps. Here, they're on pages in this particular one. When I mail them out, I probably will remove them from the pages. We will see, depending on how my envelope goes. I don't want the pages to get wrecked, but these are some beautiful ones from the Soviet Union. You know, beautiful sail ships. Some people collect stamps that have maps on them. We're going to have those too. But on top of all of this, we have lots of individual stamps, and that's where I'm going to have to take this camera and go to another location to show you some of the stamps that you're going to win. Why do I say some of the stamps? Because this table isn't big enough for all the stamps that have been donated that we're going to be giving away this month. And so I'm going to run through these relatively quickly because there are so many. Those of you who have tuned in before know that this is my this is my kitchen table, and usually I go around in circles to show you what's on it. This time I have filled it to the brim with some of the stamps that we're giving away. And I'm saying we because there's a crew behind me that makes this possible. I've talked about them before, and I thank them so much for the generosity. If you're new to stamp collecting, you will learn quickly that stamp collectors are very generous. They want the hobby to continue. They want other people to enjoy it as much as we enjoy it already, and to realize that there is a lot to stamp collecting. Not in technicality to it. You can be very technical, but you can also collect so much. And that's why I'm showing these as a transportation series of stamps that you can collect. But you could break it down. Like I said, you could break it down by the country. You could break it down by a theme, like just aviation stamps, or just stamps that have wheels on them, or mountains, or whatever you want to do. There is so much that you can do with stamps. I know there are some people that take stamps and turn them into art. And because there are billions of stamps out there, and I mean it with a B, billions, you can do that. What it does is just increase the value of the other stamps you leave behind if you turn them into art. Many of us either mount them with hinges or put them in Vario pages to collect them as they are, try to keep them as mint condition as they can be without hinges. Most of these stamps are already in use condition, There are some that are CTOs, and I've talked about that in another video about what a CTO is, cancel to order. They're new stamps. These ones here are CTOs that have never been on postage but have been pre-canceled, and people buy them to put in their collection. So they look like they're mint stamps, except for they have that cancellation that's just perfect in one of the corners. Like that, you can see it. But it doesn't mean that the stamps are any less beautiful or any less collectible. Purists want stamps sometimes that have been on envelopes and have been mailed, or that you can buy in a post office to be mailed, not just to buy in a post office to be sold to a collector. But when it comes down right down to it, it's up to you. Collect what you want to collect. And I've said that 1,000 times probably already in my videos, but I mean it. That it's your hobby, and you can do with it what you like. Same thing with these stamps. When you win, you can do with what you like. Save the ships, because that's part of your collection. Turn the other ones, trade them with other people. I don't know, sell them even if you wanted to. But I'm sure you can find a way to make this a part of your collection, as it's probably, I can probably pick any one of these stamps almost that have been used and find in a very interesting history of where they all started, how many times they've changed hands. Maybe one of them's been on a letter from a long, long time ago and it just went into a collection, and then that collection was bought and sold to someone else, or traded or handed down. And here we are, it's ended up on this table and now being sent off to one of you eventually. So all of those, and then we've got some that need some attention. They're on paper, you can soak them off, but they are all still transportation related stamps. There's a nice one with postal vehicle. They use transportation too, you know. Got to get the letters to you. And I can tell you, sometimes people send me stamps for giveaways, and I take out a few of them that I can use for a future giveaway. Zip code, see? Transportation in there too. Look at all the modes that the post office has to use in order to get them to you. And then it finishes with these. These are some examples of the transportation coils that we talked about. Oh yeah, and if that wasn't enough, all of these stamps too. They just didn't fit on the table. If you're thinking that is a massive prize to be given away, you're right, it is, but I'm not done. Because I talked about the transportation coils, one of the things that I'm gonna try to do, like I did with the Love series back in February, is try to get as complete a collection of the transportation coils as I can to also add to the giveaway. So I have some of the duplicates already. You saw that there was 4 of them on the table. We are going to go through, we are going to try to find the rest of the series. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to find them all from the same plate number or all of the different variations. I'm not going to do that, but if I can find one of each of the, say, 52 stamps that have come out, then that's what I'm going to add to the giveaway. And knowing my community, some people might still send in some stamps, and maybe some of them will be those transportation ones in order to fill out the collection. So, yeah, I expect by the end of April, when we spin the wheel to see who's going to win what, it will be even bigger than what we just did. Just like last month's flower stamps was even bigger than when I first started to show it to you at the beginning of March. What I shipped out to somebody who won was much larger than we originally anticipated. So thank you so much. Well, what's the word? What's the word? Have a magical week. What follow? You say like, subscribe, share, and tell all your friends.
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?
Bye. In the transportation coils, there are 2 17-cent stamps. One of them is a dog sled, and the other is an electric auto. So the word is going to be electric auto.